In a small town in Ohio, 17-year-old William was a boy who constantly found himself trapped in endless loops of thought. He would analyze every conversation, every message, and every decision until he felt frozen. Even the simplest choices, like what to wear or how to respond to a friend, became overwhelming tasks. Friends often invited him to join them after school, but he declined most of the time, thinking too much about what might happen or how they might judge him. Slowly, his grades started to slip, and his nights turned into restless hours filled with worry and doubt. One day, his school announced a science fair with exciting prizes and scholarships. William had a brilliant project idea in his mind, something that could have impressed the judges. But as days passed, he kept doubting himself. What if it failed? What if everyone laughed at him? He kept delaying the decision to start. Weeks went by, and the submission deadline passed without him even trying. Watching his classmates proudly present their work, he felt a deep sense of regret. That moment made him realize how overthinking was not keeping him safe, but was stealing his chances. After the event, his history teacher, Mr. Adams, noticed his constant hesitation and invited him for a quick talk after class. Mr. Adams shared how he once faced the same issue of overthinking and nearly lost many opportunities because of it. He told William, "Thinking is good, but when it stops you from living, it becomes a prison." He suggested a simple technique: write down thoughts, challenge the ones filled with fear, and take action within 5 seconds before doubts could grow stronger. William listened carefully, feeling a new spark of hope. Taking the advice seriously, William decided to take a small but brave step. That weekend, his classmates invited him to join their football game at the park. Normally, he would refuse, imagining all the ways he might embarrass himself. But this time, he agreed. He missed a few passes and stumbled once, but nobody mocked him. They cheered, laughed, and included him like he belonged. Walking home afterward, he felt lighter. For the first time in a long while, he realized most fears existed only in his mind, not in reality. That night, he slept with a calm heart. Encouraged by this experience, William started practicing short breathing exercises and moments of mindfulness every day. When his thoughts began to race uncontrollably, he stopped, closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. He would ask himself, "Is this thought helping me or hurting me?" At first, it felt strange and difficult, but over time, it became a habit. Slowly, his mind began to quiet down. He still thought a lot, but now his thoughts were more organized, more purposeful, and less like a storm that controlled his every decision. When final exams approached, William felt the familiar wave of panic rising. His mind filled with endless what-ifs, and for a moment, he felt himself slipping back into his old patterns. But then he remembered Mr. Adams' words, "Action kills fear." Instead of overanalyzing everything, he reviewed his notes, set a study schedule, and went to bed early. On exam day, he focused on one question at a time and refused to let fear win. His scores were better than before, not perfect, but a clear sign of progress that made him proud. After this turning point, William began sharing his journey with his friends. To his surprise, many of them confessed they also struggled with overthinking. Inspired by his progress, they formed a small group at school called Clear Minds. They met once a week to share their struggles, encourage each other, and practice simple techniques to stay calm and take action. It wasn't about perfection. It was about moving forward together, one step at a time, without being prisoners of their own minds anymore. Months later, William was chosen to give a short speech at the school's annual event. Standing in front of hundreds of students and teachers, his heart raced. But this time, he didn't run away from the moment. He spoke about his journey from fear and hesitation to courage and action. His voice trembled at first, but as he continued, it grew stronger. The audience applauded, not because he was flawless, but because he was real. From that day, William walked with more confidence, knowing that overthinking no longer had the power to control his life.